Greetings! Stay a while and listen to me, Marauder EX, as we play more Unicorn Overlord. Alright, so I have done some stuff off screen, and I have done some power leveling. I can keep going, but I kind of hit a point where it's starting to not have as good a return on investments. I've got basically everyone to 42. I've got well, no, I still have some 40s. Or 41s, but I have no 40s, except for the people that I haven't been using lately. So, like, Zenoria that I haven't used, because I really don't need another healer in a group at the moment. I need a little bit more damage output in a lot of my groups. I have tried a couple of different unit formations. I have added this. So, I have a mostly... mostly Angel team. We still have Sharon because Oakley's, and really Dinah's just kind of there. I thought about very quickly power leveling like Berenice and throwing her in there, or maybe one of the others like Goval or Bertrand. Bertrand's a little overkill for that, but be okay, but I really don't know what to, like. I could put Scenario, but then that's 2 healers, and that's too much. There's really not enough damage output. I kind of want to put Unify in, or not Unify, Fidoquia in here, which I probably could do. I could probably swap out and give a little bit more. Actually, I might do that. Let's swap the 2 of those out. Yeah, I kind of like that. So that way we've got some physical defense with a feather sword, some magical defense. We've got some healing. That's still not a great team. This also isn't a great team because we have kind of like 2 off tanks. We have a main tank here. This team, I think, is going to be okay. They have had some problems in the past, though. Mostly because I've been trying to keep people who have high rapport together, but I don't think Rolf and Ausch are going to be super well paired together for too much longer. So, and then this group as well. You've got Aramis, Gilbert, and Prim. Gilbert's great, but I really think you need a little bit more damage output than Colm and Amalia. Amalia was great when we got her, but I feel like she kind of falls off. Omega Shatter's okay. It's a 2-hit physical potency of 100, and it is unguardable, but it's a 2 cost. You've got Penetrate, which is a column of people, which is also unguardable, plus physical defense minus 30. Heavy Slash is just kind of eh. Hawkeye, a true strike for, and critical for things that are already unguardable. So, like, okay, Wild Kicks, good for stun. Heavy guard, I don't care about the guards. I really don't. And Calm is a tank, which I kind of don't need with Aramis, but yeah. So that's where we're at team-wise. So what we've got now story-wise is we have to visit all of the Sanctuaries. So we are going to start with Albion, because that's where we were. Like, it makes sense to start in the same continent that we were in. So, let's do the Albion Sanctuary.
I'll start by offering a prayer to the Sanctuary.
He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. progeny of the late Pontifex Servant. You have done well in guiding the Savior to this sacred hall.
You know of me?
I do. Your father, under compulsion of Baltro's magic, destroyed the seal sheltered upon these grounds. A regrettable fate indeed.
Excuse me the question, wise sage. Why is it that those of the pontifical lineage are able to break the sanctuary seals?
'Tis a tale even older than the Orthodoxy itself.
But that's over 800 years.
Indeed. I speak of ancient Zenoria and their sorcerer's quest for might beyond mortal bounds. A pursuit which brought them to Palavia and the holy power of the almighty unicorn. Enraptured by its supreme brilliance, they began to experiment, using the citizens of Albion as their subjects. In time, those experiments birthed a new race entirely, the population you know as angels.
That's not possible.
Yet their only distinguishing feature were the wings on their backs, a mark of failure for the sorcerers who conceived them. The experiments continued unceasingly, but only one success emerged, a man capable of divine wonder.
The first Pontifex.
Yes, and the gift he bore was the means to lay wandering souls to eternal rest.
But how does that relate to the seals?
The purpose of Fevroth's Sanctuaries is twofold. The first is to soothe the vengeful spirits of old Zenoria. The second is to accumulate an energy most sacred, the power of cleansing. Galerius impelled your father to set loose the souls bound to this sanctum, to break its seal as you know it. In so doing, he divested these grounds of one of their vital duties. But the other, the power of cleansing housed within, still remains undefiled by wicked intent.
My father must have foreseen the breaking of the seals all those years ago.
Which explains why he asked you to one day guide me here. To impart the power of cleansing upon my ring, so that we may stop Galerius before it's too late.
Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornea.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine. I can feel it.
Ringbearer, the sanctuaries of Fevroth further seek your call. Deliver your presence unto each in turn, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
She's going to say, I can feel the ring got stronger, and let me offer a prayer to the sanctuary every single time. It's going to get a little obnoxious. And each time we do this, we get a sacral weapon that has affliction immunity and heals 20% when using an active skill. So that's actually really good for if you want to build a unit that doesn't necessarily need a healer. Which, you know, I might have. Granted, obviously they can only use 2 weapons because sword and lance. But what's interesting is I actually had to look this up. One thing that I haven't pointed out is the Fevroth Archive, which is just all information, and entry number 1 out of 436. There's a lot of entries in this, you know, this compendium. And so one of the things that I had to look up, I believe it's under Game Tips, which has even more information. You have, I believe it's under Battle, Buffs and Debuffs, and Afflictions. So you've got, the wording is really weird, because you've got, like, debuffs and you've got afflictions. So there are some things that say afflictions, which will only cover these specific effects: poison, burn, freeze, stun, blindness, passive, seal, guard seal, and death blow. And then there are other debuffs that are not listed there. So, like, when you have something that is debuff immunity, it covers everything, whereas afflictions only cover those things. But there's, like, it's easier to find the afflictions than it is the things that aren't afflictions, because they don't have a full list of that, which is weird. So, like, I did have to go in and check, because, like, I've got the Holy Unicorn Blade, which is debuff immunity as opposed to affliction immunity. That is one thing I think they went a little too much with this game, was specificity. Because you've got follow-up skills versus counterattack skills versus, like, we had to look up, like, the Hunter's Claymore, who actually can use this, because, and then, you know, if anyone who has an innate ability, it's actually useful on. Otherwise, you have to use, like, the Pursuit Ring to actually make it useful to, and it starts getting a little weird and complicated there. But, you know, it's interesting in some regard that it's like there's so much specificity for this game. So we're going to go to the next Sanctuary, and we're kind of going to go backwards in terms of... Oh, hey, a Divine Shard that I missed. In basically the order in which we went to these areas. So we started at Albion, we're going to do Bastorius, then we'll do Elheim, and then Drakenhold, and... Alright. The next...
Sorry for making you drag us along like this.
Please, there's nothing to apologize for. I take it you have a question to ask.
We want to see if this sage knows anything about the blue. It's the only reason we even got in here, so... I'll start by offering a prayer to the Sanctuary.
He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. You've accomplished much, Ring-bearer. 'Tis no easy feat crossing a nation bound in the harshest of winters.
I don't mean to interrupt, wise sage, but I was wondering if you could answer something for us. What exactly is the Bastorius Blue?
You refer to the azure stone on your person, yes? It is magic made crystal, cultivated by the elves of yore. Long ago, when their kind still called Bastorius home.
There were elves here?
That era too saw Zenoira's reign encroach upon every region of Fevris. The elves to the south, secure behind Ervelda's veil, espoused neutrality and insulated themselves in the forests of Elheim. Yet those in Bastorius did not possess such luxury. Instead, they forged a powerful crystal capable of transforming their bodies into those of colossal beasts.
Astrals. But they could turn themselves back, right?
Such a technique did exist, yes. Though, unfortunately, it has long been lost to the passage of time.
Should have guessed as much.
Still, Zenoira must have had some reason for wanting the stone so bad. Even though they didn't use their mind control to try and get it.
I suspect you allude to the rite of channeling. As I understand it, bestral physiology is far too distinct to house a human soul, making the rite a futile venture. In its place, they likely sought the crystal for its similar mastery over the hearts of your race. All in the grand hopes of bridling the same strength they failed to overcome so many prior.
Some story this thing's got.
Now, we lack the time for further conversation. Allow me to imbue your ring with the power of cleansing. Use it well, and bring an end to Galerius' cruel ambitions. Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornea.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine. I can feel it.
Ringbearer, the Sanctuaries of Fevrith further seek your call. Deliver your presence unto each in turn, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
So I do find it interesting that Bestrels used to be elves. Because, that gets very Tolkien-esque, where the orcs and goblins used to be elves that were corrupt. So, but this is not really so much a corruption, more of a evolution or adaptation to the environment. It's like we just need to be able to deal with the harsh climate and Zenoria. And so what better way than Bestrel? Also, it kind of makes sense why we haven't seen any of the mind-controlled people the same way that we did in, Elheim. Because Bestrels are a little too complicated. You've got, you've already kind of got two souls. You've got an elf and a Bestral. So, it's a little more complicated than just, taking over one body, as Zenoria seems to be doing. So next is Elheim, which obviously we're going to have the elves join us for this, or at least one of the elves. Figured both would.
Apologies for asking this of you, Elaine. It's merely that I'd like to make an inquiry regarding the nature of these sanctuaries.
Please, your presence is more than welcome. We'll ask the sage together.
I'll start by offering a prayer to the sanctuary. He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. Beside you stands the Turanos of Elheim. The ring of the unicorn would remain ever bound were it not for you. Or for your ancestors, who conveyed the rite of covenant through a great many generations. For that, you have my utmost gratitude. 'Tis a kindness I scarcely deserve, O wise sage. But if I may, I wish to ask a question of you. For what purpose were these sanctuaries constructed? To house errant, wandering souls, those of the fallen Zenoiran Empire. Yet that raises another question still. How is it that Zenoira met with ruin? 'Twas an act of hubris immeasurable. In search of the forbidden gift of immortality, their sorcerers made sacrifice of a divine being, the great and noble unicorn.
Such vile disregard for the natural world.
Indeed. And greed only drove them further from their own humanity. Amidst the slaughter, they sought to elicit the creature's purifying energy, and in so doing, break free of the shackles of mortality. Yet the cleansing fires of the unicorn glow impossibly bright, violent in their rejection of vice and villainy. For the wicked-hearted to harness such a power as their own would be a contradiction of its very purpose. 'Twas a miscalculation of the most fatal ilk. With the beast's dying embers, the fury of the unicorn struck Zenoira's people. Their skin burned, their flesh was rent from their bodies, and their souls were condemned to wander for the rest of eternity. How horrible. 'Twas the greatest irony, then, rite proved a success in the end. From the ashes of tragedy rose but one survivor. A single girl, capable of communion with the divine unicorn her countrymen had so cruelly defiled. Aside the Pontifex of Albion and the elven Turanos, she set forth to deliver peace to the restless souls of Zenoira's citizens. A venture which saw them construct 6 sanctuaries spread through every land of Fevrith. Upon its completion, she rallied those loyal to her cause and founded a new nation, Cornia, of which she would become the first queen. And with the spirits of her brethren pacified at last, she relinquished the power she had never once wished to receive. 'Twas then that it was severed in twain, each half laid into a sacred relic, symbolic of her tale.
The Ring of the Unicorn.
And that of the maiden.
Then the reason this ring answers to me alone is the royal blood flowing through my veins.
Quite so. Your heart is that of the unicorn, fated to commune with a maiden true and fair. A destiny which culminated in the rite of covenant and the subsequent unbinding of the ring's true form. Now, the power of cleansing housed within these grounds will prove a great boon in the battle ahead. You need only accept its grace. Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornia.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine.
Ringbearer, the Sanctuaries of Fevrith further seek your call. Deliver your presence unto each in turn, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
So we're getting a lot of lore. Also, kind of terrifying to think that they killed the unicorn and it just killed everyone. Like, that's, you know, a little ridiculous in the grand scheme of things. Alright, so we've got 3 more. This one is probably the most out of the way. Because we've got to go up and around a pass-through section. And this is the only thing that's up here, is this. And some materials that we've already got.
Forgive me for prying, Berengaria, but why have you asked to join us here?
Baltro, I want to know more about the man who thinks he can tamper with other people's minds. I have a few other questions for this sage of yours, too.
I'll start by offering a prayer to the Sanctuary.
He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. Excellent.
Hope you're in the explaining mood, Sage. There's a sorcerer working with Galerius. Goes by the name Baltro. What can you tell me about him?
The man was a true prodigy, if ever one has deserved the title. His aptitude for magic was, in a word, peerless. A gift he employed with little concern for sense or morals. 'Twas through that disregard that he birthed arts as magnificent as they were monstrous. The rite of channeling chief among them.
Is that how the devil still lives? By possessing the body of another?
Baltro himself has no need of such trickery. While the lost souls of ancient Zenoira's people have long stood confined within the sacred grounds of the Sanctuaries, Baltro has remained in the realm of the living, sustaining his twisted physical form for centuries upon end.
The lone survivor of a fallen empire. But if Those souls have been locked away. How exactly was he able to summon them?
With the Crystal of Transference, of course. A potent medium capable of circumventing the barred gate to the beyond. Once the desired soul was summoned, he wielded the right of channeling to convey it into a yet living host. 'Tis a feat, I presume, only possible for a man of Baltro's infernal aptitude.
Crystals of transference.
I can't say I've ever heard of them myself.
I bet they're real tough to come by. Otherwise, he'd have brought back the whole damn empire by now.
You make a good point.
I've got one more question for you, Sage. This armor I'm wearing, it's not the only set. There was another up in Albion recovered from the Sanctuary when Zenoria first started knocking. Way I hear, it was the Pontifex who found it, gave it to a guy named Nigel not long after. So, I was wondering, this place have any old gear you're looking to part ways with?
Alas, all armaments stored within these walls have long since been evacuated. Yet the power of cleansing remains pure and true. Grasp it tight, and it shall surely bring you succor in the days to come. Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornea.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine. I can feel it.
Ringbearer, the Sanctuaries of Fefrith further seek your call. Deliver your presence unto each in turn, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
I love how they're like, do you have any other gear? It's like, yeah, actually, technically, we're getting a sacral weapon from it. So it's like, yeah, it's not the suit of armor, but it's still nice. Sacral axe, like, I mean, technically, I guess that's the power of cleansing made. But yeah, anyway. So we've got two more. Actually, we also have the Fefrith Atlas. So we've got the Cornea Sanctuary, and I don't know what sanctuary that is. I think that's the Zenoria Sanctuary. So we'll go do this one, and then I will save the last one. Wait, where's... I'm going to say, where's you? Did I already do that? I'm supposed to talk to you about the map. Oh, but I'm only at 98.1%. What am I missing? I mean, I guess I'm missing the centerpiece. So... Oh, nope. It's down here. It's over here. Alright, we'll do this one, and then I will save the last one for the next episode.
I'll start by offering a prayer to the Sanctuary.
He who bears the ring of the unicorn, present its grandeur before me. So the ring is restored at last. You have done well.
If I may ask a question. You said that if we wish to match Galerius' might, we would first need to unbind the ring's power. But I wonder, why did you bid us return here after?
That I may bestow upon you the power of cleansing, accumulated within these walls over the passing of centuries.
Do you imply the renewed ring is not enough to defeat him?
It is not. If you wish to bring such events to bear, you must usher the souls of Zenoria's people to their long-awaited salvation.
The Zenoria of old was an ancient kingdom, said to have fallen in a single cursed night. What do its denizens have to do with this?
The night you allude to was that of failed ceremony, one in which they relinquished their corporeal forms. For countless years they suffered in discarnate agony, consigned to merely watch as a new world sprung forth from their own. As you may expect, the weaker-hearted among them succumbed first to madness, then to an unyielding, rabid lust for evil. 'Tis only by the power of the Sanctuaries that such wicked souls were put to slumber, sealed away in a realm known solely as the Beyond.
And Galerius used me and my father to break that seal.
Quite so. He has torn open a seam between the land of the living and that of the dead. A seam through which he shall unite their beings, till neither one is distinct from the other.
Then we know now what Galerius seeks. To resurrect the souls of ancient Zenoria.
Should he succeed, this world will be met with grave disaster. Yet that is why our sanctuaries exist. Make use of our strength and bring eternal salvation to the souls of the lost. Now, the power of cleansing housed within these sacred grounds will prove a great boon in the battle ahead. Your will is mine own, righteous Prince of Cornea.
The ring's gotten stronger, Elaine. I can feel it.
Ringbearer, the sanctuaries of Fevreth further seek your call. Deliver your presence unto each in turn, that we may aid you when the fated time arrives.
So basically, we're playing Ghostbusters now, kind of. And the Sacral Sword. Power of cleansing has taken physical form. Alright, so yeah, we have one more that we have to do. I didn't think this is what I had to do to finish that, but like, looking at it, it's like, yeah. I think that's it. Because I'm pretty sure we've been everywhere we can be. Yeah, I've opened up everything. Like, I figured that might be something. Maybe that. Oh, there's a pass-through? Where the hell is this? And it's a money. I missed that. We're gonna do it. I could have swore we had already done all of these. So we're gonna get this, and who am I fighting? Who is this? I'm well over leveled for this. So let's just go ahead and show this off. But
Let's begin.
all right, why did it miss both of you?
Lend me your strength.
Oh, well, it did not matter. Did not matter. That's all it took to take everyone else down. Euros' staff. Oh, right. I missed the staff. Every last monument. Okay, so that completed that. And we got a single novice military tree. One novice. Okay. So, hey, we've got a staff now that's actually going to be somewhat useful. And then we've got the sacral weapon. So I've got stuff that I need to equip onto people. I've got a ton of money, so I'll probably buy some stuff off screen and make sure everything is, you know, well stocked for the upcoming battles. Because we've got one more sanctuary to go to, and then we've got the final set of battles, which is Unicorn Overlord, which leads us to take Cornea directly. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and end this episode here, and I'll see you all in the next installment. So till then, later, everyone.